Okay, today we're going to be talking about simple interest. When we talk about simple interest, we have a formula. This formula will be located on your mathematics chart. It's I equals PRT, but our mathematics chart doesn't tell us what each of these letters stands for. It's interest, principal, rate, and time. I stands for interest, principal is P, rate is R, and T is time. Don't forget that when there's no operation between two letters, that is automatically multiplication. So our formula actually stands for interest equals principal times rate times time. So interest is going to be money accrued on an investment. Sometimes interest is something that you are charged if you borrow money, but it's always going to be money accrued. Principal is the initial amount of money that is invested. The rate is usually a percent. It's a percent of interest that you are going to earn or owe. And time is the amount of time invested. And time should always be notated in terms of years. So a rate is going to start out as a percent, but in order to use it in our formula, we have to change the percent to a decimal. Because we are not allowed to multiply a percent, we have to change it to a decimal in order to multiply. So we're going to do a practice problem. Mr. Grant is investing $200 in a simple interest savings account at a rate of 2%. He plans on investing the money for 2 years. How much interest will he earn after 2 years? So we're going to start with our formula, I equals P R T. Now when we substitute, I don't know what interest is. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to write interest equals. Well, P is the principal. Principal is the amount of money being invested. So if Mr. Grant is investing $200, I'm going to put $200 in for P. R stands for rate. So it says at a rate of 2%. But I can't put a percent into a multiplication problem. An equation should never have a percent in it. It should be changed to a decimal first. So 2% is 2/100ths as a decimal. And time is my last piece. And it says he plans on investing it for 2 years. How much interest will he earn after 2 years? So since it always has to be in years, we're going to put a 2 there. Now it's a simple equation that I have to solve. So starting with 200 times 2/100ths, so I do 200 times 2/100ths, 0.004, and I don't have to multiply a 0. I moved it out 2 times, so I have to move my decimal 2 times back. So 200 times 2/100ths is 4, and I haven't multiplied this 2 yet, so I need to bring that down. And 4 times 2 equals 8. So the interest equals $8. So $8 is the interest after 2 years. Now we put that into a sentence. Mr. Grant will earn $8 of interest. Okay, did I answer the question? How much interest will he earn after 2 years? Yes, Mr. Grant will earn $8 of interest. Now, I would like to practice a couple more with you. So here's the 2 problems that we're going to do. We have $1,500 being invested for 2 years at 2%. And then we have $750 for 18 months at 1 5/10%. This is the one that I would like you to do for practice. So if you could do me a favor and pause this, copy this down. I'll show you again at the end of the video, but make sure that you pause the video. Go back, write this down, because this is what you're going to bring to me in class. And this is what you will find on your whisk. Okay, so we're going to work through this one together. Once again, it's I equals P R T. So the interest equals principal times rate times time. My principal is $750. My rate is 1 5/10%, but I have to change that to a decimal. So I'm going to move my decimal 2 places. And my rate is 0.015 or 15 thousandths. And my time is 18 months. But as we heard earlier, it says months and it's only allowed to be in years. Well, I know that there's 12 months in a year, so I'm going to divide by 12. I know it's not going to go in there evenly. 12 goes into 18 one time. And 12 goes into 65 times. So 18 months is 1 5/10 years. So my problem is 750 times 15 thousandths times 1 5/10. So I'm going to start with 750 times 15 thousandths. 5 times 0, 5 times 5, 5 times 7. Bring down a 0, 1 times 0, 1 times 5, 1 times 7. Okay, and I had 3 numbers to the right of my decimal, so I have to move it 3 numbers back. Okay, I don't need the 0 on the end, so my answer is 11 25 hundredths. So I have 11 25 hundredths times 1 5/10. So 11 25 hundredths times 1 5/10. 5 times 5, 5 times 2, 6 and 5. Bring down a 0 and cross out the 5. 5, 2, 1, 1. 5, 7, 8, 6, 1. Okay, now this time I have 1, 2, 3 numbers to the right of the decimal as well. So I know my interest equals $16.875. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. So let's talk about how to do this again. In case you forgot, money only goes to the hundredths place. So I have to round, either round down or round up. And since this is a 5, that's going to tell me what to do to the 7. Since it's a 5, that tells me I add 1. So my interest equals $16.88. So the interest on the $750 investment at a rate of 1 5/10% for 1.5 years is $16.88. Now I want you to go try this one. Try $1,500 investment for 2 years at 2%. And that one will be in your WISC, so make sure that you do this one before you start your WISC. Thank you.